welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us today for Enter the Square Circle. Baby! This is NAWT
NWT
of Champions.
Yes,
Night
night
2,
two,
Part 1.
night two, part one. We did night one live last week, so hopefully you joined us for that. If you did, we appreciate it. And here, night two is recorded, but we hope you enjoy it nonetheless. So let's add it to the stage and get this show started. We have our ladder match to start the show for a to name it women's tag team championship. First time Enter the Squared
Champion!
Circle women's tag team champion. So we're doing that in a 4-way tag ladder match.
So, I could be wrong, but I believe I have Chelsea and Piper.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
And you have Alba Fire and Caden and Carter.
Correct.
And I have Indy and Candace.
Correct.
Okay.
Somehow we didn't, I guess we didn't manage to get the entrances off either, so give us a second to skip through.
It happens.
And unfortunately, in this match, we have 4 tag teams, so that's 8 competitors, so it's going to take, skip through everyone. Oh, didn't take quite as long.
Because some of them have tag team entrances.
Oh, there you go. So, this match is officially underway.
If they didn't have tag team entrances, that would have taken a lot longer.
Yeah. This is...
Chelsea posing on the outside, leading to Candace, whopping her upside the head.
Obviously, as it's a fatal 4-way ladder match, there's no disqualification.
I mean, in a ladder match, there's no DQ, and in a fatal 4-way match, there's no DQ. So,
yep. And apparently now it seems like triple threats, there's no DQ.
Yes.
Too. It hasn't always been that way.
No count out, no DQ. I thought that was the norm.
For some reason, I feel like that wasn't always the way. Like, I feel like for a long time it was
Candace
triple. I feel like for a long time, for years, triple threats were done the same way as a singles one-on-one match. But I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe I just never paid enough attention. Maybe it just never registered. But
I don't really feel like triple threats were a thing until the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think back. Like, I can't think of any, like,
classic earlies.
Yeah, from the vintage.
From the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think that are classics. I can't really either. Not until, like you said, till the 2000s or till the 90s. Really, I mean.
And even then, like, I don't feel like. I mean, there was War Games in the 90s.
Right. I mean, well, that's not a triple threat match. Those are eliminator matches. I mean, they had Survivor Series in the late 80s, but those aren't triple threat matches. Those are just elimination multi-man matches. But they're still regular tag teams.
Well, I was about to say, like, there really wasn't any like multi-man matches, period.
Right.
And like,
no, I mean those were basically Survivor Series, and that was really it. I mean,
Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Who will be our first women's tag team champion?
Which there's no DQ in the Royal Rumble, but you don't really see anybody ever take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Like, what would it hurt for just like one time somebody just roll out underneath the bottom rope, grab a steel chair, roll back in, and just whop it in?
Right. I do think that I've always had an issue with eliminated people then being able to eliminate people, which I don't like. Has happened several times over the history of the Royal Rumbles or Rumbles in general with the Royal Rumble, and that's always bothered me. I wish they would change that. I think once you're eliminated, you shouldn't be able to eliminate anybody else.
I remember the first Royal Rumble Stone Cold was in. He was supposed to be in the final four, but he accidentally got eliminated early. And he was just like, "Oh shoot, I blew my chance." Like,
So
but
here's a question for you: WWE has done Rumbles in both ways, where literally you start with all 30 men in the ring or 30 women in the
Battle
ring,
Royale.
battle royale, or where they come down, in intervals. Which one do you prefer? As far as basically essentially a battle royal match. I mean, they're all battle royals. I mean,
Yeah. Um,
which one do you prefer?
I mean, I prefer the Rumble, but it's because they do it once a year.
Right.
Like, if it was a commonplace thing where they did it on a Monday Night Raw, I wouldn't like it as much.
So I have mixed feelings about it. Like, obviously, I often vocalize my issues with multi-participant matches
Ooh.
and how they're hard to follow. So when you have 30 men in the ring at one time or 30 women in the ring at one time, it makes it really hard to follow what's going on. But that being said, the year that Brock Lesnar sat in the ring and eliminated person after person and never had to
Yeah,
fucking
like 12
that
people.
that drove me fucking nuts. Like, that to me is the antithesis of the Royal Rumble. I mean, that was like the worst Rumble segment ever. That's the worst Rumble for me ever. The whole point is to have multiple people in the ring at the same time. So if you're gonna do that kind of a Rumble or that setup where you don't let people in the ring, then I'm not. Then I'd rather just have everyone in the ring to start off at the beginning.
Yeah, I
If you're
think
gonna
that
do it,
most, like, there was what, three people in the ring with him at one time. There was four
yeah,
people, and then
right. And for all intents and purposes, that's really only been 1 year that's happened quite like that. But we have had periods of time where a big guy will come in and eliminate everybody and then stand and eliminate one or two guys and then get whatever, It hasn't been quite as long as Brock's was, but or as drastic, but like it's happened in the past, and that stuff drives me nuts. I don't like that. So if you're gonna have one guy just eliminate a bunch of people and then stand and wait and eliminate guys, you might as well just have everybody in the ring at once, in my opinion, because otherwise it's boring. So the whole point is to have multiple people in the ring at one time.
personally, I didn't hate it because it's not a thing that happens often.
Sure. And,
Same thing with
I mean,
Shayna Baszler in the Elimination Chamber, where she eliminated all the other competitors.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
well, you don't see that happen very often, so I didn't mind that she did it.
Yeah. No, I mean, my bigger issue is with it is that I fucking actively despise Brock Lesnar, both as a human being and as a wrestler. So, um,
Although it might
I
be a bit of a problem that both of those things happened in the same year.
that's part of it. Like, I really like Shayna Baszler, so I don't have the same initial, just whatever. So
Mhm.
doesn't quite bother me as much, and that's probably not fair, but it is what it is. So, um, yeah, I mean, for me, Brock ruined my favorite pay per view of the year, Royal Rumble. I mean, that's always my favorite pay per view of the year, and Brock ruined it that year for me. So I'll never forgive him for
Well,
that, and I hated him before that. So
I mean, Charlotte still won the women's. Like,
yeah,
that didn't
yeah,
redeem it at all for you. It still
no.
felt ruined.
I mean, that match was a good match, but the pay per view itself was ruined because of fucking Brock Lesnar.
Oh, is no one gonna stop her?
Oh,
Oh, no
who's in
one
the ring?
stopped her.
Oh, Alba Fire and Island Dawn, the Unholy Union is our first Enter the Square Circle Women's Tag Team Champions. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to the women that won the match. All right. We got one more match, or two more matches on this video. That was our opening match of night 2, crowning our inaugural Under the Square Circle Women's Tag Team Champions. I'm not sure what's going on with the video. Why it's taking so long to switch. I don't know what's going on. Oh, here we go. Grudge match. Dominic never forgave his dad for losing the titles to Randy and Seth. Dominic wanted a match, so here we go. Ooh. Street fight? Backstage brawl? Which one? What is it? Technical?
Backstage brawl.
Backstage brawl. Big surprise. Deadbeat Rey Mysterio is happy to beat up his son in the backstage area. No safety mats, no nothing. That's all on hard concrete, Ray.
I feel like the winner of this should be afforded a future opportunity somewhere.
Oh! At something? How about a mid-card shot?
I'm down.
They'll have to get their shot after we do Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank, because the Elimination Chamber guys are going to be, the winner of that gets a shot at the mid-card champion, at Cody Rhodes. I guess we could, in theory, do the winner of this before the Elimination Chamber winner gets his shot.
Or we could make it a triple threat.
Well, we could do that too.
But yeah, definitely the mid-card title, not the main card title.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. Oh, Ray with the head scissors into the armbar. Dominic kicking out. Or not kicking out, but rolling out. Oh, neck breaker. When these guys started as a tag team, it was the face Dominic Mysterio that was actually with his dad. Now, since they've lost the titles, we have heel Judgment Day Dominic Mysterio versus his dad. Dominic Guerrero. That's what he should call himself. He should change his last name from Mysterio to Guerrero.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have done that. He should have told his dad, I hate you. I'm giving up my name. I'm going to use my real dad's name and been Dominic Guerrero. That would have been cool. Dirty Dom Guerrero.
Commentary refers to him as Uncle Eddie, even though the storyline clearly showed that the DNA test proved that he was Eddie's son.
Uncle Eddie. Oh, Dominic with the shovel.
Like, are we just supposed to forget the DNA test?
Cracking Ray. Apparently so. Apparently WWE wants you to forget that. Ray with his got his son up. Is he going to powerbomb him on the cement? Dominic fighting his way out. Dominic's got Ray up in a suplex. Oh,
One.
Suplex. Oh, three amigos.
Two.
Can he hit it? Third one up and
Three.
over. Tres amigos. What Dom going to do now? Oh, stomp to the midsection. Looks like Ray caught his foot. Trying to fight out? Maybe not. Maybe he was smushing his foot in there. It's hard to tell sometimes exactly what's. Oh, nice little kick punch combination. Oh, into a little Falcon Arrow. Oh! Dominic now. Wearing out Ray with the shovel. Payback's a bitch, huh? Take that, Dad. Take that, Dad. All them times you missed my football games. All them times you chose WWE over being home. Do you know? I assume that they do, but do you know? Do they have a good relationship in real life?
Dominic and his dad?
Yeah, Dominic and Rey Mysterio.
I would assume so, but definitely not while cameras are rolling.
Yeah, no, I know, not obviously in kayfabe, but I mean in real life. I didn't
I
know. I had
remember
to
an
be.
interview he was doing. It was a Spanish interview. He was doing
Oh,
it with Damien, and they were asking him, "Did you consider wearing a mask?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, when I started, I definitely figured I'd be wearing a mask, but then I realized, I'm a third generation superstar. Great uncle, and then dad, and then." When it got to me, it just, I'm too guapo. Too guapo. Can't wear a mask.
can't wear a mask.
Like
That's
my father, he's ugly, but like I'm too handsome. I can't do it.
funny.
Just watching Damien's face while Dominic was saying all that.
Dominic has. Oh, he was setting Ray up, but Ray caught the kick. Oh, sunset powerbomb. Ray, oh, with the swing, spinning DDT. Dominic
How's
fighting his
about
way
this? The
back.
winner of this will get a eliminator match.
Okay.
You're you're okay with that? Like not an actual shot, but an eliminator shot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine with me. I'm good with that. The question is who can beat Big E or who can beat Bobby Lashley? Man, he made short work of Big E on night
Yeah, he did.
one. And he looks pretty dominant as champion right now. His next defense will be against Sting. Is that right? I
Yep.
believe that's right. Yep.
Night two, part two.
Night two, part two. He will defend against Sting. That'll be next
Next week.
week. Next week. Tune in for that. Not of Champions, Night two, part two. Where myself and Sammy Joe will vie for the End of the Square Circle World Tag Team Championships against Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. Sammy Joe got that opportunity by beating Drew last week in night one in our live coverage of Not of Champions night one in a hard fought casket match. Sammy Joe was able to get the win, and instead of being selfish and using it for a personal shot, he decided to use it for a tag team shot for me and him against Seth and Randy, who just won the titles on night one against Los Mysterios in a solid match.
Well, I mean, I don't want to challenge Bobby, and Bobby's already busy. He's got Sting. So,
Right? In theory, I guess you could have challenged Cody for the mid card, but I mean, I'm not upset because then this way I'm involved and it's funner this way. I think so. Oh, Hurricane Rana. Dominic fighting his way out. We are at 4.5 stars on this match. The crowd is loving this match. Oh, Dominic throwing Ray into a little wood railing. Back and forth. Dominic. Oh.
ooh,
Oh. Dominic with the win in an
instant
instant
classic.
classic. All right. Dominic putting down his deadbeat dad.
Right.
All
We
right.
need
Now,
we need to get Dominic versus Cody.
in a world qualifier, world women's
Eliminator.
eliminator. Sorry, thank you. If Raquel wins, she gets the shot at Becky or whoever is the champ, assuming it's still Becky at that time.
Yep. We looked at the roster, thought who like hasn't really gotten an opportunity, and we
Yep.
landed on Raquel.
Yeah.
Like we don't have plans for Raquel, and Raquel's pretty good. So
Yeah. Might as well give her a shot at a shot.
if she doesn't land her opportunity here, it's going to be a long time before she ever gets a shot.
Yep. And Not a Champions has been pretty good as far as having. We had two women's match on the first night. No, one women's match on night one and two on night two. No, two on night one and two on night two. Right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but there's not one on night 2, part 2,
No,
because
that's
both
true.
of the women matches are on this
Right.
video.
Right. But still, I mean, two women's matches on this video, so. Oh, Raquel up. So it's fitting while we're watching this to talk about real life. Becky Lynch is currently apparently without a contract at WWE at the
Mm-hmm.
moment and is a free agent. What do you think Becky Lynch chooses to do with her career at this point?
Whatever she wants.
That doesn't really answer the question. I mean, what do you think she ends up doing?
I
If
will
you
say
had
that
to
if
predict.
she goes to AEW, then Seth Rollins is at real risk of leaving to AEW too.
Okay, so let me ask it this way: what percentage do you put on Becky Lynch showing up in AEW? Give it a number.
40.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's probably around there too, somewhere between 40, 50%. I think it's probably about half for me that she could very well decide to do that just to do something different. And if she does that, man, I mean, they already have a great roster. If they could just book it properly, man, AEW's women's division would be insane.
Well, that's the thing, is that the weakest part to AEW was always their women's division. And now they got big stars there that they didn't have before. And their
Yeah,
in-house talent has been growing and improving, like Willow.
sure. Right.
Like
Yeah. No, I mean, if they could get a Becky Lynch and they could get Jamie Hayter back and Britt Baker back, and I mean, they'll be
and
poised to be.
Statlander feels bigger as a heel than she did as a face to me.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that too. And even though I think she's doing amazing work, and I think it's probably maybe the best work of her career. It's probably not even an argument that this is the best work of Athena's career as ROH champion. I'm ready to see her make the step up. I wouldn't mind seeing her wrestling for the TBS and or the AEW Women's Champion. I mean, what she's done with the Ring of Honor title has been amazing. So I
Would they
wouldn't
make
mind
her
seeing her.
Athena 2 belts though?
Well, no, I don't. I mean, she could lose the Ring of Honor championship to somebody. I mean, I don't know who, but I'm ready to see her make that next step up from Ring of Honor to the AEW roster.
Yeah, I don't know who either.
One, two. Raquel kicks out. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, she's faced a lot of good competition. I mean, on Ring of Honor. I mean, there are strong women. Plus, you could bring over an AEW talent that is, a lower level talent. Say like Queen Aminata. She might be right to fit to beat a Red Velvet, maybe. There's some others. I'd have to look at the Ring of Honor women's roster off the top of my head, but there's, you got a Mercedes Martinez floating around and Diamante's floating around. So
If I'm picking and choosing, I'm either picking Willow or Serena.
to beat Athena for the Ring of Honor World Championship,
You need somebody really good to beat Athena, especially after Athena's run.
yeah, I
Like
could see that.
because the person who beats Athena, they can lose to a lesser person, but the person
Yeah,
who beats Athena needs to be a bigger person.
yeah. No, I mean, I could see that. I mean, I could see that.
Like you could have Serena Deeb lose to Anna Jay, but you can't have Athena lose to Anna Jay.
I hear what you're saying. You could, but there's some meat on the bone to do it in a way that doesn't necessarily make Athena lose clean pin wise. I mean, she has these minions. She's got Billy Stark, who has had issues. In fact, potentially you could have Billy Stark turn on her and
You
help
know,
who's ever facing Athena win the title. So,
that'd be pretty good.
and
Uh,
then, and then just have Athena move up to the AEW roster. Um,
Question as to who Billy Stark would partner
that,
with, though.
that's a good question. That I don't know. I mean, that's a really good question. And it could be a situation where even though Billy Stark is the what is she, the women's TV champion? Is that right? The new
Hmm.
women's TV champion, where she thinks maybe she could be Billy Two Belts, and if she helps somebody help beat Athena, then maybe she gets a shot for helping. Just thinking
Can
out loud. Um, that might be her impetus for turning on Athena. Um, now that she's got one belt, she's cocky, wants the other one. So if I can't beat Athena, but if I help so and so beat Athena, then I can get a match with so and so, and I can beat so and so. Something like that maybe would work. I don't know. I'm just thinking of ways that you could protect Athena and still take that belt off her. You could do it in some sort of a triple threat too, right? I mean, or some sort of a triple threat or fatal four way where she defends the Ring of Honor title against two or three other women, and she doesn't take the pin. Somebody else gets pinned, and either she's pissy and decides, I'm done with Ring of Honor because I got robbed out of my title, so I'm going to AEW type of situation, or
so the champs are Jay Briscoe, Athena, and the Kingdom,
okay,
right?
yeah, Mark Briscoe, Mark Briscoe.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, Becky Lynch with the win. So Raquel unfortunately does not earn a future title shot.
Um, who's the ROH TV champion and pure champion, though?
Who is the pure champion? It was. Oh, geez, that's a good question. Well, Billy Starks is a TV, new women's TV champion. The men's TV champion was. Oh man, that's a good question. I got to Google that. Give me just a
Well,
second
we can
here.
Google that off air. Let's close this out.
Okay, are we at our? That was it. We will get rid of these. So, thank you for joining us on part 1 of NawT of Champions Night 2. Uh, we will be here next week for NawT of Champions Night 2
Part two.
Part 2. And that will officially cap off NawT of Champions. I know it's been a long 3 weeks of NawT of Champions, so a long pay-per-view, but give you guys a chance to breathe and enjoy all the matches instead of giving you a 10-card, one show long pay-per-view. We split this up.
Which we considered doing.
We
But
definitely did.
we thought that this
It was
would go
probably a
over
little too
better.
much. Right.
Like, I figured you guys would rather watch 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes than 2 hours and 10
2 hours.
minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So please join us back next week. Peace.